Right now, if I were to ask you to think of a video game, one of the first things that pops in your head would probably be a mascot. You know, you have your Marios, your Sonics, something of that ilk. So it's easy to understand why every game company in the 90s was trying to make their own stand out. Iguana Entertainment tried once back then, and they tried again in 2003. Meet Vexx. Vexx X? Vexxes? V double cross? Let's just go with Vexx. He's so edgy, he's got blades for fingers. So much attitude, he only speaks in roars. He's got eye burns, or whatever you call these things. Why do game companies always think we want to see other mascots getting murdered? Well, anyways. Video game has-beens. Beware. A new bad boy giving a finger to lame games. Perfect dad. 10 out of 10. No notes. I should probably start talking about the game now, huh? The story of Vexx is your standard affair. A big bad shows up to enslave a peaceful people. Hero acts out and gets someone killed. Hero finds ancient magic weapon. And then, vengeance. There's only like 5 actual characters in the game. You got our boy Vexx with the knife hands. We have Dead Grandpa. Oops. My bad. We got Rhea. I mean, she's the main point of story through audio logs.
My nightmares were true. Father is dead.
Darby, the closest thing to a guide in this game. And Dark Yabu. Oh, wait. I guess 4 characters.
Be careful. Shadow wraiths are shape changers. Trust no one along your journey.
This is why I have trust issues. So yeah, it may be a little bit of an overused trope, but, you know, it's not the worst reason I've heard for starting an adventure.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
In terms of actual gameplay, Vexx plays a lot like Mario 64. Just think, instead of stars, you have Wraith Hearts. Instead of red coins, you have Soul Jars. Instead of the 100 coin star, you have the 100 energy heart. This is naming I never got used to. Instead of the hub being a giant castle that you get to explore, it's essentially a cylinder with doors. The main thing that gives our boy Vexx an edge over Mario is he's a lot more combat focused. And combat actually feels pretty good. Whether you're just comboing enemies, doing flip kicks, uppercutting people off of ledges, it all feels satisfying. The jumping and platforming is decent, but bear in mind it's an early 2000s 3D platformer game, so the camera is going to murder you, and probably often. Only having 9 total worlds may seem small at first, but the variety present here will keep things interesting if you're going for that 100%. It gives Vexx this unique position of being like a bite-sized Mario 64 or another 3D platformer of its ilk. You really should be able to 100% this game in like between 10 and 15 hours. I guess I just appreciate a game that values my time. Now, let me get some of my negatives out of the way about this game. I mean, besides the camera. Some of the clues for Wraith Hearts are a little cryptic. For example, there's a Wraith Heart in the second world. You actually have to go back to the first world, find a secret door, which leads to another room that you have to climb all the way up to get the Wraith Heart. And then there's a heart in the below that gives you a clue that I understood pretty quickly that I had to read the manual, but, you know, still. We don't all have to be Metal Gear Solid. And then there was this heart on the final stage that is on top of this ledge that you have to do a tricky jump that you never really have to do in the rest of the game, so it felt super awkward. took me forever to get. Second major gripe is the wall climbing and the ceiling walking, or whatever you call this, felt really clunky. And it always feels like you're just about to fall off, often into an instant death pit. Speaking of which, this game uses a lot of floating platforms over death pits, or puts you in situations that if you miss a jump, you have to re-climb an entire section to get back to where you were. Another gripe is the game feels incomplete, which, if you do any kind of research behind this game, it's because it kind of was. Initially, they had a much grander plan in mind, but if you can ignore the minimal story, I think you can have a good time. And final gripe is that last boss can eat a bag of dicks. No, seriously. What a pain in the ass. Oh, and speaking of the last boss, slight sub-gripe. The game seemed super dark, but maybe that's my fault. Maybe I had some kind of setting wrong or something, but there were some areas that I could barely see. I mean, look at this. I can't see. Can you see? I can't see. Oh, and also speaking of darkness, the game has this daytime-nighttime feature that you can control with these sundial things, which is cool in concept, but it just makes the enemies harder, it makes it harder to see. It does give you access to hard challenges, but for the most part, I changed it to day every chance I had. Oh, I forgot to mention the music. When it's good, it kinda sounds like Bloodborne and Ratchet & Clank had a baby, which is pretty awesome if I do say so myself. I don't have much more to say about Vexx, but I'd like to show some of the variety, so enjoy this montage. Well, there you have it. That's Vexx. It's an excellent choice if you like games like Mario 64 and you just want another playground to play around in. Anyways, if this review made you want to try it out or made you absolutely want to stay clear of it, let me know. This was my first review. I'm trying to get used to the process, but hopefully it's good, you know? Hopefully it's good. I stream over at Twitch under the same username. And if you got any ideas for other games you'd like me to review, let me know. But thanks for watching. Bye.